continues to have on our staff. As superintendent, I'm disappointed by the actions of some of our students. Such behavior does not represent who we are as a school system or the values that we cherish. The Great Valley team strives to make our schools welcoming for all, and this is especially true for our hardworking and dedicated staff. Without question, I know the conduct of our students has wounded and offended everyone in Great Valley. Specifically, in late February, we learned about the creation of 22 fake TikTok accounts that posted grossly inappropriate and hurtful comments. The administration investigated and consulted with law enforcement. The administration also applied its school policies and held students accountable where applicable. We also communicated with our middle school families, engaged our staff, and sponsored student presentations with the Attorney General's office regarding social media's impact and the implications of its misuse. Since much of the conduct occurred outside of the school day and on personal devices, there are limitations to what schools can do. As a school leader, it's a frustrating position to be in. However, we're working on ways to bolster our digital citizenship curriculum. We're looking at ways to enhance our district policies. And most importantly, we're looking for ways to engage our families, our staff, our community, and students in dialogue around this very important topic. Sadly, this is a societal issue, and we need families to be allies as we work to promote safe and respectful online practices. This also is a learning opportunity for the school system and for our community at large. I look forward to working with all members of our community as we move forward. Thank you. I'm happy to take your question.
Where applicable, we did partnerships up on that front. What were the activities and how did we make it happen?
Yeah. Unfortunately, when it comes to student behavior, our district has a long-standing practice of honoring student privacy and confidentiality. So when it comes to matters involving student discipline, I'm unable to.
I'm not asking you to name the students on they ask me what the discipline is.
I can't comment on discipline that was imposed on students. I can't comment on the police's active investigation. Unfortunately, we do know that accounts have continued to be created throughout the summer months. It's disheartening, it's embarrassing and disappointing that our students continue with some of this conduct, but I'm unable to comment on the police investigation.
Kids can do dumb things, but at some point, do you want to just say to the parents, like, come on, wake up. I mean, you got to know what your kids are doing. You got to explain right and wrong. You have to explain to them what the impact of this is on other human beings.
Yeah, as I mentioned just a moment ago, one of the key elements as we move forward is engaging our community, making sure that our family members understand what their children are doing online. So we're going to expand our programming. We're going to have opportunities for open dialogue. We're looking to engage outside presenters and ways to engage our families in that very discussion point.
Superintendent, what's your message to teachers, though? You said that accounts are still being created this summer. If I'm a teacher, why do I want to come back? Yeah,
it's so disheartening, and I want to extend my sincere concern for our staff and know that this has truly hurt them. And I used the word wounded in my opening statement, and that word was chosen carefully. Our students' behavior has truly wounded the staff here at Great Valley. I want to assure our staff that we have your back. We are going to continue to support you. We will hold students accountable. We're doing a complete review of our policies. And as just stated a moment ago, we're going to be engaging families and really ramping up our partnership so that we can help to prevent things like this from happening in the future.
In terms of the accounts created this summer, accounts with the same theme, misogynistic, claiming pedophilia, sexual content, that is still going on or has gone on this summer?
I can't comment on the specific nature of the post, but I can tell you inappropriate TikTok accounts have been made. We have reason to believe they are Great Valley students as we continue to investigate them, but the accounts do continue to surface.
Do you think that in regards to your school safety plan, every school has a safety plan, are you thinking about having a position in there for someone to monitor these accounts? Because it appears, according to the New York Times article, that the district wasn't even aware of this. It was the New York Times reporter that found out about the new account
No, we have been aware of various accounts, and we have been made aware throughout the summer that it continues. I want to make sure I address any misconceptions regarding that. As far as our student use, again, I wish they would discontinue this. We have done repeated outreach to our community. We've spoken to our students, and for some unforeseen reason, our students still think this is appropriate behavior. So disheartening.
Do you think it's appropriate for those students to not be in this school district?
As far as students attending the school, we have to be mindful of students, what they do outside of school. I'm certainly disheartened. I think we need to take every approach necessary to teach them right from wrong and to make sure they are aware of what proper social etiquette looks like, sounds like.
Every approach necessary. So does that include suspension?
Possibly. We take each case on a case-by-case scenario, and if warranted and subject to policies, that is a possibility.
But if you're saying you obviously did something about this during the school year, right? You had contact. This summer it continues to happen. Wouldn't that take it to another level that would make you maybe move more aggressively on kids who should be aware of this behavior?
We will. We'll continue to take it on a case-by-case basis. It really depends on what students post, the impact, their intent. We'll look at all those. So we want to do everything we can to protect our staff and avoid situations like this from happening in the future.
You said you continue to be made aware of these accounts. Who are making you aware of these accounts? Do you have someone in the district specifically searching social media for them?
We continue to find out through various sources. It could be school personnel, it could be teachers, it could be family members, it could be students themselves. But certainly we have had reports come in over the summer months.
Have you had contact with any of the parents of the kids that you did figure out who did this, and were they aghast as all parents should be, or were they more, hey, listen, they can do what they want? I mean,
yeah, as superintendent, I have not engaged the parents directly. That's more the role of our principal, but those conversations have been had. And much like with students, I can't comment on our confidential relations with parents.
Can you say what the parents said? At least what they told the principal, what their reaction? Did anybody stand up for their kids and say, this isn't all that big?
Yeah, I really can't comment on our interactions. They're confidential with families and students.
And is it the same? Have any of these been repeat offenders?
We know in some situations where we have one student who's created multiple accounts. I can't necessarily ascertain each and every account as they come and go, but we do know of some repeat offenders.
Because in the most recent ones, I mean, that was malicious intent, without a doubt. You know, I'm going to keep posting because I can, and I don't have the verbatim. It's in the New York Times article, but there's a clear intent to want to, if not destroy somebody's reputation, at least hurt them.
Very hurtful behavior. And I use words like disappointed and upsetting, and it's true. I really wish our students would stop this terribly inappropriate behavior.
You're limited in what you can do because they have a First Amendment right, but you have suspended some students related to this, not directly, but related to it, for violating school rules, correct?
I can't comment on student discipline. I can tell you that we've taken action, but any sort of confidential, that is protected, what we do with students.
Just a couple more. Do you believe the school is vulnerable for a civil claim, the school now, and then I'll ask a follow-up, a civil claim by the teachers or their family as a result of being maligned online in this way?
Yeah, I don't think I'm equipped or the right to get into the legal matters. That might be a question better directed for our school solicitor or counsel regarding legal matters.
Do you expect the teachers to make legal claims against the parents of some of these kids for similar reasons?
Teachers have the ability to pursue civil claims should they want, but as far as the position of the district, again, I'm unable to comment on that. It's a question better for our counsel.
Superintendent, can you tell us how many students are actually involved approximately? It seems like this continues to keep going on.
It is a small number. I can't really give you the precise number, but of a middle school last year that had 1,100 students, we're talking a relatively very small number, but the impact is huge, and I really feel bad for the staff that have been affected, and I certainly hope the behavior stop immediately.
Those 8th graders are now going to be going to high school. Is there concerns? Are you going to be doing events at the high school level?
We will. District-wide, we are looking at a comprehensive K-12 approach when it comes to our digital citizenship curriculum and also the engagement opportunities that we have with outside speakers and programs. So you will see a comprehensive approach, not just something isolated to our middle school.
You said earlier that much of this was done outside of school, but does that leave the door open that some of this was done on school grounds?
Possibly. And when, again, I have to be careful with what I implicate students on and their conduct and behavior. I apologize for that sensitivity, but that's something I need to honor. But if any infractions occur in school and any violations of our school rules, we'll certainly apply that, and we could impose discipline as required.
Small number, are they all 8th graders? Or there's some who aren't?
The exact grades, I want to be 100% sure. My understanding is that the majority were 8th grade.
Majority, so there may be others, 7th through 6th.
Yeah, it's very hard to identify the creation of these online accounts, and some we may never figure out. We're doing our best to investigate and bring it to an end.
And when the Attorney General's office was here, was that in part also for them to explain what types of charges that these kids could face?
It was. All the implication both socially and emotionally on individuals and also legally.
But you don't know if anybody has been charged, or do you?
I'm not aware.
Not, yeah. Really quickly, so 22 accounts, that's not one kid per account. The number of kids involved is going to be smaller than the accounts that you know of, correct?
Correct. It was 22 teachers who had accounts made regarding them.
22 different teachers.
Correct.
And is that including the new accounts from the summer?
I'd have to tally those up. 22 is our last figure.
Okay, from as of last week and prior to that. Okay.
Correct.
A dozen kids, I mean.
I'd be purely speculating on the number. I'd prefer not to give a number if I don't know it.
Oh, your union, your unionized shop, what's your union saying to you? Are they upset at, obviously they're upset, that's what happened. Have they demanded anything from you? Made any, direct demands as to what they think you need to do?
Yeah, I think we're all upset by it. I mean, every facet of the organization, from our school board members to our administration, to our teachers, to our support staff. So to me, it's a universal issue. I have no doubt that they're concerned. We're all concerned. Nobody wants to see this behavior going on in our school district. So we're all going to work together as a unified front to educate our students, engage our families, and try to eliminate these opportunities in the future.
Is there a concern that some of the teachers or staff that's been affected may not want to come back?
I know certainly our staff, as I said earlier, are wounded, they're hurt. I have the understanding that they're all coming back, but I certainly understand the pain that they're feeling. And so my job as a superintendent is to make sure that the work conditions are appropriate and supportive of the good work that they do, and that we can exercise our ability to regulate and impose discipline when infractions occur. So I want our teachers to know we have your back, we're going to continue to support you, and when things are actionable, we are most certainly going to take appropriate action to stop these behaviors.
You mentioned you met with the teachers that were impacted that had these accounts. Can you share a little bit about how any of those conversations went?
It was a lot of listening. We did some brainstorming about next steps. They gave me some good ideas. One suggestion was to eliminate their directory photos off our website, which we did and we honored. And so we began a partnership and starting to brainstorm things that we're working on this summer and that we plan to impose next fall when school resumes.
The New York Times description of these accounts, is it accurate from what you've read?
Yeah, I don't know if I would can. I'd have to go back and look at how everything was reported in that, but they were definitely inappropriate comments.
And describe a little. I mean, what were they? What's going on?
Yeah, because again, it deals with student behavior and things that we had to deal with. I can't describe. It's related to our relations with students, and unfortunately, I'm unable to comment on that.
And just the last thing too is I just want to give you a quote from at least for me, not speaking for other reporters. There's a quote from the New York Times article that kind of struck me. It says, "This is considered the first group TikTok attack of its kind by middle schoolers on their teachers in the United States." Does that give this more weight to you when you hear it phrased like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would tell you, even one of these accounts, though, if it were one and not 22, I would still want to do everything we can to eliminate that, whether it's one individual or 20. Is it extra disturbing to know that it was multiple teachers affected? Absolutely. But this behavior is inappropriate, whether it's targeted towards a principal, one sole teacher, a custodian, a cafeteria worker. It's just wrong. And so we really need to engage our families in making sure our students know and do better.